We applied because there's obviously 10 of us in South Lanarkshire, so we cover such a broad area. So we get to see like wee pockets of different sectarianism in different areas. So what we wanted to do was bring together 3 of our centres that experience different levels of sectarianism, to bring it together to try and get the young people to work together to best sort it out in their own communities, because we thought it was better coming from the voice of young people and workers preaching at them all the time. So it was about their issues and letting them try and resolve it.
I heard about the group and it sounded really interesting to join. So far it's been really good.
It's a hard one because there's so many different communities that we cover in University Connections. So like in Larkhall, it's rife, it's more violence. We see it in Hamilton, it's more what school do you go to, and it's about verbal abuse. In Whitehill, it's a mixture of both. So it affects it in all different ways. Violence was probably quite high, I'd say, a couple of years ago. Just now it's more verbal. So basically the project is we've run 3 centres together, and it all came from the idea of one young person from Whitehill, from his community, and he voiced that he was only friends with boys that he was in bonds with. So he wasn't allowed to mix with Catholics at all. That was so alien to him that it was really peculiar. And he'd asked if there was any groups we did that purposely brung together both Protestants and Catholics, and actually we didn't. So what highlighted us it was a problem. So what we did was we brung these 2 communities together, and it was aimed, when it first started it was all aimed at boys, and then we actually realised there was more girls affected than we realised. So just now we've got a core group of 8 young people that are a mixture of both boys and girls from 3 different communities that have came together every Friday night, and they do different things, like they've wrote songs, they created their own mural, they're now making a DVD to use as a workshop so that they can educate other young people that they've either been involved in sectarianism or they've been a victim of sectarian abuse.
The film right now because it's just like everybody keeps, we're all getting nervous when we're saying it, so it's like over and over and over, like to get it right.
The biggest challenge is the easy one, that was getting a group of young people to admit that they'd either been involved in sectarianism or they'd experienced sectarianism. The biggest success has been this mural, like getting it together. It's all, we've seen it from a tiny wee drawing in a paper that the young people drew to this happening. So it's amazing just to see it, and obviously with their face incorporated in it, and to have that as part of our centre now for as long as the building's here, that mural's going to be in the wall. So that's been one of our biggest successes, and the DVD actually coming into creation, and the fact that we now know we can roll it out, so even when our project stops, there's going to be something that we can use after it with other young people.
Who's my favourite? All of it really. I like the wall, the rats and all that as well. I like doing them.
I think it's quite hard to measure just now, because I think it's going to have a lasting impact in the community, because I think as these young people get older, they're going to have a bigger impact in the community, if that makes sense. But for the now, I think it's great because we've got now wee pockets of communities in like Larkhall that don't think sectarianism exists, and they're letting us come in with our young people to like show their DVD, do their workshops, and they're admitting, oh wait a wee minute, there might actually be an issue here that we're missing. But this group of kids that have randomly came together from Whitehill, Larkhall and Hamilton might have a point.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I think it definitely can.